Welcome to another episode of African Innovation Landscape. On this program, we delve into thought-provoking conversations with Africa's leading changemakers in science, technology, and innovation. We provide a unique perspective on the opportunities, challenges, and prospects of Africa's innovation landscape. So whether you're a researcher, an entrepreneur, investor, policymaker, or simply an innovation enthusiast, this program is a gateway to the exciting world of African innovation. Today, we will be looking at unlocking Africa's innovation potential, challenges, opportunities, and the way forward. We will explore the ecosystem that shapes our continent's future. And we have an expert in innovation management and technology transfer who will be sharing his knowledge with us. My guest is Dr. Umar Bindir. He's a distinguished engineer and academician with a remarkable career in agricultural technology and engineering. He earned a Bachelor of Science degree with first-class honors in agricultural technology from the University of Maiduguri, followed by a Master of Science in agricultural machinery engineering and a PhD in agricultural machinery design from Cranfield University. His expertise lies in machine design and development engineering, and he has held key positions in various institutes and government organizations, including the Appropriate Technology and Community Development Institute in Northern Australia. Dr. Umar, welcome to African Innovation Landscape. It's so good to have you.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
All right. So let's just dive right in. Doctor, you have very vast experience in African research and innovation. So what is your take on African research and innovation with emphasis on the challenges, the opportunities, and the progress?
Well, thank you very much. This continent made out of 55 countries, and disappointingly, all the 55 countries are developing countries, an index that something is wrong. The first is science comes from scientific institutions. It comes from intelligent people spending time in laboratories, in their universities, in workshops, and so on and so forth. And this country has these institutions. Nigeria has approximately 300 universities, around 600 to 700 National Board of Technology, education accredited institutions, including polytechnics and monotechnics, not to talk of South Africa, Egypt, and so on and so forth. So when you look at the numbers that are supposed to cough out the required science, which probably should be transformed to solutions for our lives as technology, and then move this technology to our people to create jobs and products and create wealth, this continent is very, very rich. However, your question is asking, what is happening? Is it working or not working? I can tell you without mincing word, in any country, when such a system is working, you will see three things. The first is that you will see poverty coming down. Poverty hates good research. Poverty hates good technology. And poverty hates it when you are transferring technology to give young people jobs to create. So poverty will start running away. But when in our countries, in this continent, poverty is relaxed, is getting fatter, it means we are not scaring it away. It means either the science is not the science we require, or we just do the science for the fun of it. It does not indicate that our science is transforming technology to solving our water problem, our health problem, our food problem, our shelter problem, our roads problem. And then certainly, because of the huge unemployment in both educated and non-educated young people in this continent, it means that that science and its technology is not creating the jobs and is not making sure that young people are engaged. So that is number one. Two, even if it works and brings down the poverty, so that every year you study the data of poverty, you see it is 60%, it's becoming 50%. It means the system is working. You move to the next level, whereby you ensure that young people sort of basic education is accessible to every child. The language that we use in this country of out-of-school children or Almajiri children or, whatever children is totally an index of inefficiency. So you now move to the level of everybody can go to school. They can have skills on how to do these things you do as young people, how to set up technology, how to build houses, how to repair trains, how to make sure that cars are well. These skills and competencies is what gives them jobs. And so you succeed in creating a huge middle class. Everybody is moving to do something every day. I have worked in many countries. I have not seen a you have the large pool of jobs. They're making a bit of money. They work for 5, 6, eat dinner, have shower, and then say, hey, let's go and kill some few people. That doesn't happen. When you see young people coming together to say, let us go and steal, let us go and rob, let us also carry knife, if the person resists, we kill him, is because they have absolutely nothing to do. They are totally hopeless. So now even when you quench these two, your energy in research, science, engineering, and whatever should be able to move your country to the highest level to become a knowledge economy, to become a country where you are breeding complex things and solving it. Your institutions are maturing. You don't have, your election institution is good, so that once election will come, you see what happens in America. Election will come, they campaign, no fighting, they vote, and 10 minutes after voting, they announce and everybody goes back. Matured institution. You don't have institution that is lingering, go to court and abuse this one. No. The same thing, you have the police system is working. If you do wrong, it will address you. If you don't do wrong, you are smooth. Everybody is moving very well. Police is looking very fine, and so on and so forth. So these are the 3 levels. Quench poverty, create middle class, and raise the profile of your country to the extent that everybody will respect you. Now, in Africa, that is not happening. We are a continent with countries that are not respected. We are a continent with countries that are literally the custodians of bad practice. Anything you're looking at, as I say, in Africa, in Nigeria, whatever, So this is the situation. But that does not mean that it is totally hopeless. The fact that you have institutions is good. The next thing is you have to try to make the institutions work for you. And what do you need to do? Number 1, you need to be serious with your policies. The government has to make sure that the policies are based on numbers that are real. Even if they are showcasing that you are weak, make sure your policies will say, I need 1,000 primary schools to educate all my children. I have only 10, meaning that I need 990. So if you need 990, these are the resources you have, then it means next year I will introduce another 10 or 15. So you have a logic of moving from the level of lacking to level of prosperity. That policy must be matured. Secondly, we must also take steps to make sure that we too, our universities are very good. They are attracting the very best. The science coming out of our universities are good, not only good, but science that are relevant to develop and solve our problems. So that as you type on your smart device, top 100 universities in the world, you should see 3 or 4 from Africa. But now it is not possible. 3, we must also create what we call as the national system of innovation, meaning agencies must come together. You are working in immigration. You need data of people to give them passport. You are working in the National Identification Management Commission or Council or whatever. Then you need the data of people to make sure that you give them national ID card. You are working in INEC. You need the information of people to give them a voting card. You have a telephone. You need the information of people to make sure that their phone is not utilized wrongly. So you have their picture, you have their height, you have their eyes, and so on and so forth. How come that we have all these institutions, still we don't have data about Nigerians in one place? Meaning that we're not working together. So in countries where this is working, everybody works together such that the system, once it captures you, everybody will share the data, and you find that you are using your resources very well, the data is credible, and you move forward. First, in countries where this is working, we have raw materials. You don't carry the raw materials out and sell it, and then start importing the finished product. What that means is that you're exporting prosperity, because that crude you have in Nigeria, it has kerosene in it, it has diesel in it, it has petrol in it, it has aeroplane fuel in it, it has all sorts of things. You just get it into a barrel and sell it off. Those people where the science is working, where the technology is working, where they're innovating, cracks everything, brings out petrol and brings some back to you. And then when you don't have enough, you are abusing your leaders and saying the price of this thing. After all, you have the... So when it is working, you know how to do all this. That is where the jobs are. That is where the prosperity is. And that is where the respect of your country is. And so on and so on. There are many things that you have to do. Unfortunately, in our continent, either you do one or two and you start getting better. After some time, you collapse again because the system is not smoothly coordinated to make sure that it's work. These are the challenges, but following the menu is the opportunity to actually address the challenges.
Okay, Doctor, I'm very tempted to call you Prof because of how you analyze things.
Yeah.
All right. So you've spoken so well, and I was going to ask you about intellectual property. But now that you've already spoken about it, I'd just like you to let us know why Nigerians are not making progress in that area. You've highlighted reasons why, but I want you to make more emphasis. Why is it a problem for us?
Well, it is improving now, but the generic problem in many things in our country is partnership, is synergy, is complementarity. We are very good in creating the sentimental islands. This is my place. This is my office. This is my vehicle. This is my budget. This is my mandate. And you don't want anybody. Once you continue to do that, you lose a lot of momentum. You lose a lot of energy. The spirit should be to create an innovation system, a system where everybody is talking to each other. If we can do that, you will find that we will utilize our resources more effectively, we will improve our performance, and the impact of our work on our people will just skyrocket. And you don't need to ask anybody whether it is happening or not. Once you see the poverty levels in any country, it will tell you if your policies are good, if your leadership is good, if your technology is good, and so on and so forth. The fact that our own poverty is endemic. Look at out-of-school children everywhere. Look at the unemployment everywhere. It's supposed to be an indicator to tell you that no matter what you are trying to do, don't praise yourself. It is not working. So this is the thing, but we have to break it. And that is why traditionally in the academic institution, there is something we call the triple helix. That is 3 points or 3 lines joined together. What are these lines? First is the government line. The government must be able to provide crispy political system, a system that is thinking about the country, wanting the country to change, wanting the country to be better, wanting the country to be respected. So you are operating at the highest level compared to anybody. 2, it must provide a very strong moral leadership. That is, don't do bad things as a leader. Don't be corrupt as a leader. Don't be stealing things as a leader. Be very sharp. Be law-abiding. Lead people to abide the law. So that moral leadership should be able to be very crispy. Third, you have to also demonstrate economic leadership. Make sure that the resources you have is working for you, is expanding, and it is effective. And then you can give the technological direction, meaning, hey, we also have to behave like other countries. We have to be creative and so on. When that particular line is working like that, it affects the second line, which is the academia. The research institutes will start looking at the policies coming out, will start respecting the leadership, supporting it with good budgets, supporting and motivating them with good services. Professors should have houses in their universities. They should be given car loans. The lecture theatre should be good. There should be internet connectivity in the system so that the young people are absorbing modern things. When that is functioning, it will be producing technology, producing competent people, producing skilled young people who now will support industry. Industry will find it very cheap to find workers that are good. Industry will find technology that they can make money out of this working system. So government its strand works very well, powers the intellectual system, which produces the energy for industry to benefit. This is the triple helix. So now when this is not happening, you cannot make mangoes out of neem trees. So you find the things that you are doing, you are tirelessly working, you are shouting, you are busy, but the outcome and the impact is very, very weak. Why? Because that synergy is very, very weak.
There. Okay. Thank you very much. Very insightful again. Now, let's go back to your time at NOTAP as the DG. What were those indigenous inventions or innovations that you were able to successfully transfer, indigenous ones? And I mean, I'd like you to share with us those examples and how they were able to impact the society, because you did very notable things during your tenure. So I'd just like you to share with our viewers.
Well, you see, NOTAP is not a research institute. NOTAP is not a university. NOTAP is not it does not have labs and workshops. NOTAP is a soft contributor. It's literally a catalyst. It's a facilitator. The function of NOTAP actually is not this. The function of NOTAP is NOTAP stops as a policeman at the gate where foreign technology is coming into Nigeria. And I can tell you, foreign technology literally is what drives everything in Nigeria. The cameras you have here are not Nigerian cameras. The electricity bulbs here you have are not Nigerian electricity bulbs. The Maggi you eat is not a Nigerian the original food. The Indomie you eat is not the Nigerian knowledge product, and so on and so forth. All these people come into our country with their own technology to invest in our country because we have a consuming population. So NOTAP is saying that when you come with your technology into Nigeria and take a lot of money and pay for that technology out, please wake up universities and reduce this cost. We call it capital flight in our technological area. If you allow that you are not doing anything technologically, people come with their technology to do things for you, you have to pay for the technology because their universities are good. Their research institutions are good, and that's what they're showcasing to. So what NOTAP does is when it sees this data, it analyzes it and then tells the secret to Nigerian knowledge workers that this is what you need to do. So during my tenure, we tried very, very much or very hard to ensure that we popularize the culture of intellectual property. We want to see patents coming out of universities. We want to see patents coming out of our research institutions. We hold a lot of workshops and seminars on the process of commercialization. So we bring industry, we bring the innovators together in our workshops to talk so that they can be able to see the opportunities to make money from technologies coming from our institutions in form of technology transfer. We even encourage the foreign technology users in our country to share their own platform so that we can also catch up by pushing them to support PhDs, to visit their own facilities, to utilize a bit of our own know-how and so on and so forth. So it's not that we have specifically this is the technology, we have commercialized it. No, we have generic things. But when we do this, you find that the Nigerian National Board for Technology Incubation improves in its working performance. Why? Because it now understands that for you to establish incubation, you need technology from the research institutions, and NOTAP says this is the way to do. And you have seen them actually grow. We have seen companies that are evolving in Nigeria. For example, Computer Warehouse Group. It is our invention, our intervention that ensured that that company becomes a multinational software company in Africa. They were just in a small cubicle like that.
Wow.
All software that used to come to banks were all foreign. And even the service of the software when they are using it in the bank, Oracle and so on and so forth, it is foreign people that comes to do. NOTAP says, no, we have intelligent IT people. They have graduated from good universities. This maintenance, you must work with them so that they know.
Right.
And we made sure that 60% of the payment for maintenance goes to Nigerians.
Wow.
And then you can manage with the 40 because it's your software. By rubbing shoulders like this, gradually, Computer Warehouse started coming up with a lot of software that are commercialized, not just in Nigeria and elsewhere. They have opened their energy of service delivery in Ghana, in South Africa, in Kenya, and so on. Now it's a big company, courtesy of what NOTAP has done. And in many other small efforts, we're doing that. But this is still not enough. We have to do more. And still, I come back to that secret. The secret is synergy.
Yeah.
Understand what all the people who are doing things relevant to you, and then work with them to be stronger. But maybe because in our country, corruption is very endemic, so everybody wants to capture their resources to make sure that the benefit only comes to them. That is wrong. That is not good. That is not cannot develop a country. We have to relax to make sure that if we are succeeding, all the money you take is about training your children. What about if the universities in Nigeria are very good? You don't need that money. All the money you carry is to carry your wife and children to go to hospitals outside Nigeria. What about if Nigerian hospitals are using Nigerian technology and good doctors to provide you the service? You don't need the money. So this is the concept that we have to understand, that all these things that we do, we distort here and there, can all be solved if our science becomes our technology. If our technology becomes our innovations, creating jobs for our young people, producing products to service us and others, then the whole system will be sanitized. And once you start doing that, people will start respecting you. It's not easy though. Why? Because other people want you to remain like this so that they continue coming to give you service. It's business. It
Yeah.
is not that they hate you. No,
True.
it's an economy. They have a company to make money. And when they see you, I'm sorry to use the word, but they say, oh yeah, that guy is stupid. Let us go and carry his money. So they can come in with their technology, bang you here, bang, 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 bang. Software is not yours. Internet connectivity is not yours. IT things is not yours. And you need it. And therefore they take your money and give you the service.
Certainly.
So you have to also be strategic. So once you have that triple helix, your laws and regulations will reduce that what we call as commercial injury. People can come and injure you commercially if you are not aware. So work together, understand what it is, and draw fantastic policies to make sure that you too, the first target of recognition and development is your country.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor. So the triple helix is a way out of commercial
That is-
injury. I love that. Now, I'd just like you to talk about this commercialization thing very quickly. How do you think the government can better support research and commercialization, other local products? Because we need these things out there. You've spoken about them a lot. But speak to the government now. What do we need to do?
Well, you see, the word commercialization is very simple. It's commerce now. It's about money. It's about creating wealth and sharing.
Right.
So commercialization is taking the technologies that we have internally to make sure that we are creating jobs and wealth for ourselves. Now, sometimes, I mean, it is not like it is easily erodable, but it hurts me when I see our politicians buying massively keke napep, so many sewing machines, so many grinding machines, so many generators and welders from outside in China, in India, or over, and then we are pretending that we are now supporting our constituencies. Those sewing machines should be Nigerian sewing machines.
Right.
The generators should be Nigerian
Nigerian,
sewing machines. And that is where the commercialization is. I think if we were to have a law to say that all our support for our constituency projects must be Nigerian products, I think our legislators and leaders will now task the knowledge system more to say that, hey, we don't condone this kind of nonsense. You are just doing research anyhow, whatever, and nothing is coming out. Sewing machine is not coming out of it. Generators are not coming. It must too. We are giving you 2 years. If it doesn't come, you will be fired.
True.
You have to be aggressive like this to make sure that young people again are assembling the generators so that they are good. They are packaged very well. And that is why intellectual property again plays. You need a trademark that says Bindir generators. Everybody knows that they work well, they don't consume fuel a lot, they don't make noise, and they produce stable electricity. That branding will mature if I'm pushed. Then you make money, you generate jobs, and then people will respect you. So government is still the triple helix. Government must understand and decide to say that Nigeria is first. When we construct roads, the design and the construction should be Nigerians. When we make trains, that is billions of dollars or whatever, Nigerians should be the designers. We must have workshops everywhere making the cartridges, the rail, the whatever, so that it is made in Nigeria. Our electricity, we can produce any electricity we want. We have the gas. The thing is, the thermal stations are mechanical systems and thermodynamic systems. Nigeria has the intellect to do that. Government should say, no, from today, no more thermal station coming into this country, and we must have it. It's not that no more is coming and everybody will. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, you have faculties of engineering, departments of electrical or mechanical and whatever. We are going to ensure that we put teams all over the place to come up with thermal stations for Nigeria. And I can tell you in 3 to 5 years, you will see that happening. Even if they are small, they are just powering villages and so on, we will grow. So policies must be tied to the love of the country. And it is easier now because you can see countries that are performing very well. And you can see Countries that used to be like us that have decided to lead well. Singapore, we were together at the same level. Korea, today everything you see is made in Korea. Our cars, our electric appliances and so on. Why? Because they said no. It must be Korean. You must design it, produce it, and market it. And then look for other places where they are not doing. Sell it to them too. Nigeria has to make that decision. And it is only government that can produce or provide this kind of very firm legal and regulatory structures with very close monitoring and evaluation and constant sharing of information to find that it is happening.
All right. Now, thank you so much, Doctor, once more. Very insightful sharing you've been doing so far. Now, my final question to you. What's your final take on how to strengthen innovation and technology in Africa? I'm saying this because I remember that, I just like you also to confirm this, that in 2011, NOTAP was able to save Nigeria about 300 billion, right? Also, okay. So, I mean, with that, NOTAP was able to do that. Now, how can we now strengthen Nigeria and Africa as a globe?
Well, you see, that saving is not really like there is a bag of money. The saving is that when you do technology transfer, the guy who has the technology who is outside Nigeria, says that for this technology to produce this product in Nigeria, to employ Nigerians and do this technology costs this. So the local person who is facilitating for them to invest in Nigeria is sitting here. So they come with technology and they say, sir, for us to be able to design roads and be able to construct the roads, that capacity to design and select the equipment, select the kind of workers is money. You have to pay, let's say, 100 billion naira or 10 billion naira or whatever. Now, this is on paper. They write it as an agreement. So you sign, I sign. When that agreement comes into Nigeria, NOTAP is the one to register it. Because if you don't register it in NOTAP, you cannot go to CBN and buy dollars, okay, and take it back. So NOTAP looks at this agreement to say that, why? Why is it that they are charging you 5 billion? It should only be 1 billion, no? No. So you bring all of them to the table in NOTAP. They say, no, technology owner, this is too expensive. No, you cannot take all that money out of Nigeria. Is it not this and that and that? And so we know, we have capacity. So now you ginger this until you reduce it. But instead of 10 billion, it may become like 6 billion. So you have saved 4 billion.
Okay.
So when you do it to so many companies, you can get more than even 300 billion saving. If you were NOTAP was not there, that 300 billion dollars or naira, whatever, could have left Nigeria through the CBN because we will give them the certificate. So, but then coming back to your question on how Africa can renew its hope using technologies, that is just basic thing. Try to do normal things. Try to ensure that you to your institutions are very good. Don't go to university in Nigeria, government university. You see dilapidation. You see grasses all over the place. Donkeys and goats are roaming all over the place. There's no water. There's no electricity. The technology that is going to come out of this will not be superior. You know that. So try to avoid it. The whole Africa should learn from that. When you get the workers, these scientists in Nigeria, most of us that have got PhDs and so on, have gone to those countries to learn to come back. Create an environment for them to work. Don't allow lecturers to be roaming about so ordinarily. They don't have a good house. There's no electricity in their house. They don't have car. No. Like in those days, make sure that they are working in their university. They can spend 8 hours in their lab and walk back to their houses. Good housing. 3-bedroom is enough. Electricity is flowing. Water is flowing so that they too, their children also can go to good schools. If you do that, you will find that the way they are motivated to work, the system will just start waking up. In fact, the whole redefinition of the Mr. President renewed hope, at least for Nigeria, I think lies in this. The renewal of hope is to ensure that we perform better. We take advantage of our capacity and capability. And in the course of doing that, we also raise the hope of the whole country and maybe the continent so that people can look at you and respect you. When you're self-sufficient, when you're doing things by yourself, people respect you. And in science, technology, and innovation, it's exactly the same thing. So my advice is, let us take our countries very seriously. Let our leaders take our countries very seriously. Let us also follow very, very seriously. And let us understand that this knowledge cannot come down like rain. We are used to rainy season too much. God is just giving us irrigation system for free. You know, rain will come and wet our soil. We just plant and it grows and we harvest. This is not going to happen with everything. There are other things that you have to work very, very hard to be able to do that. So all of us combined should do that, and we should do it in a combined way. Partner, partner, and partner. Help each other and measure whether you are going. But the ultimate measurement is, as I said before, is this poverty level. Once the poverty level is high, whatever you are doing is not working for your people. But when it is working, you will see that the data is telling you that it's getting out. You will see employment for young people. You will see wealth creation. You will see sanity. And this is my final word: partner to be efficient.
Thank you so much, Dr. Umar Bindir. It was so good to have you. And something that you've said that kept ringing is collaboration, partnership. Nigeria has everything it takes to succeed. Yeah. We only need to work together and collaborate. And I hope that when we invite you again, you will grace us.
I will.
Okay, thank you so much for coming. So this is where we draw the curtains on African innovation landscape. It was so good to have you join us, and I'm sure you've learned a thing or two about the potentials that abide here in Africa. You've learned about the opportunities, the challenges, and everything in between. My name is Chinatoji, and do not forget to share your thoughts on this conversation by visiting our social media platforms. Until we come your way again, stay safe.